Hey, what's up everyone? It is the one and only Maxi here, and I am back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Donkey Kong 94 for the Game Boy. So last time we have basically just managed to wrap things up in terms of the Iceberg world, despite the fact that I did manage to die twice on that world, but that's fine because that's how trial and error usually goes. So today, for this episode, is the fact that we are moving on to the forms of the 8th world in Donkey Kong 94, and that's what appears to be Rocky Valley. And unlike in any other worlds throughout the game, that some of these worlds can usually be divided between 8 levels, 12 levels, you name it. Whilst this world has a lot of levels to come across into. Such as, for instance, from the start though, is the fact that we're actually going to be exploring through 16 stages in this one world. So that will actually be one of the longest videos of the bunch in terms of this Let's Play so far. So either way though, yeah, hopefully we'll able to get on with this specific stuff though. So yeah, let's get to it with Rocky Valley. And if you guys probably do not know already, this actually took me a lot of attempts for able to actually do a successful recording attempt. Because for the love of God, most of those levels can really drive me up the wall any moment. Which is especially noticeable whenever we get onto the forms of the next level, which we're probably not going to mention about it right now, because obviously we're going to be able to go through Stage 8-1, which is pretty simple, self-explanatory and everything, but you also need to be fast on that particular level as well, so just in case, you won't lose the key if you manage to able to slow down a notch, so yeah, something worth that in mind, so... Alright, so here we go on to level 8-2, where we're now able to actually introduce those little enemies right there, and I somehow wasn't paying attention to that specific, you know, the Piranha Plant seeds to dodge, but that's fine, because we're able to try this again. So, the only reason being is because of how the fact that this actually took me a lot of attempts for the recording sessions while doing this particular world, because I keep on dying a lot on one level alone, and that's what appears to be by the forms of 8-4. And what do I mean by that? Well, we'll point it out whenever we get into that specific stage, but in this particular level, it's pretty self-explanatory if you manage to know what you're doing. Like, specifically, we need to, like, go to the lower path by grabbing the key and then change the switch to change the directions for the conveyor belt. And then every once in a while you would be able to grab the key and you'll be good to go. So, yeah, there's nothing else to say about that particular level. So, of course you do need to avoid those enemies every once in a while, such as, for instance, those little porcupine-looking enemies, as far as I'm aware, because obviously if you do somehow touch them, then you die instantly, so yeah, so you have to be very careful. And of course, here we go on to stage 8-3, where basically we now need to rely on these waterfalls. And basically, those waterfalls, currents, will able to actually take you downwards, like, almost the entire downwards. And also, every once in a while, we got to avoid that, and very annoying bird enemy, which thankfully I did manage to done that no problem. So either way though, at least I can hopefully try to get my extra life back after that, you know, despicable death from that specific stage 8-2. But that's fine by me because we now reach on to 99 lives now, so... Yeah, this is a level I was thinking of anyway, because here's the thing about this stage. In order to actually just to complete the stage, you have to obviously try to able to activate the liver switch, like so. And here's the bad thing about this particular stage, compared to any other Donkey Kong levels, is that those porcupine-looking enemies are flipping everywhere in this particular stage. And no matter what though, I don't seem to have that much of an issues with this stage on my original Game Boy cartridge version. But for whatever reason, on the emulator version, I just keep on messing things up beyond belief. Especially noticeable that they always catch you off guard and they're able to actually give you like a lot of cheap death situations like these right here. And also if you manage to get cornered, then there's no way to escape. And to make matters worse is the fact that Donkey Kong can usually sometimes fake you out by able to actually get that much progression. And you know what I mean, for the sake of the forms of, well, as soon as we're able to try to go ahead and keep on moving a little bit, and then he refused to able to actually activate the switch, and then as a result, it can really drag on a bit. Especially noticeable that he always waits until whenever I manage to get stubborn and stuff like that. So because of that though, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the stage. Especially noticeable how the fact that it's just too many porcupines all at once. It just irritates me. I mean, look, I'm essentially deadlocked by then. And as a result, that it won't allow me to able to progress. And then until when I died, he just somehow changed the liver. And as a result, it was like, are you kidding me? Anyways, yeah, that's as far as I can say about this stage. I hate this stage so much. Well, it is obviously, it's gonna get ridiculously challenging as you probably progressed, so, which is understandable for the most part, but, it's just too many porcupines, it's just way too much in this stage for my taste, so, yeah, I wasn't too thrilled about it. Ah, really? You just... Okay. Let's try again. Hopefully, without any much, do or die situations, all that stuff though, so, and then I just get paranoid with this stage easily. Although obviously you know I did not meant to like backflip right into them. I swear to God. Okay. I just keep on getting robbed from this point, man. For all this life, everything, and yeah, it's just a bit too much. Like I'm telling you at this point. So either way though, we'll probably try to end off this stage as much as I can. And plus, it's all about a damn waiting game too. Well, it's unlike the forms of the other levels coming up, that you can essentially try to go ahead and try to complete the level as normal, but you can't really able to predict that because otherwise this will happen right there. Like, I got cornered and there's no way to escape unless if there is like a specific timing to deal with, and as a result, yeah, I think I'm gonna be pretty much gonna be wasting a lot of extra lives on this particular stage, which honestly it doesn't give me that much trouble at all whenever first time I actually play this stage on my original cartridge version of this game, because, well, I actually just managed to done it like no sweat, but for whatever reason on the emulator I just have a lot of struggles with this stage. But either way though, that's how it usually goes for the sake of time. So anyway, let's just go ahead and get this stage over with, and there we go. Good lord, 6 deaths on it so far, which is quite a lot. Although then again though, that this is by far one of the hardest. Well, not only is because this is one of the longest worlds in the game, but it's also, to me though, is one of the hardest worlds in the game. Get it because we're actually nearly at the end of the game, so, which is pretty understandable for most challenging parts nearly at the end of the game. But I just think it's a bit too much for my taste for the sake of that stupid stage 8-4 level. Because for the life of me, I always have a lot of struggles with that stage. But anyways, let's move on now to the next portion in terms of the next 4 levels as far as Rocky Valley is concerned. That will have to be world or stage 8-5. So even then, now we can able to actually get ourselves the Super Hammer. Ever since in the Desert World, it has been a while since we actually used the Super Hammer since the Desert World. So yeah, it seems very obvious standard stuff though for the most part. So yeah, I digress. So a few things I want to explain about for this point today is that obviously today's day is of course the I would say today it is the 19th of May today, in this case in 2021, at least as far as I'm guessing for this point correctly, and it's on Wednesday, so not much else to talk about apart from the fact that, well, usually relatively speaking, I'm pretty sure that Tiana, she's almost finishing up with her Let's Play of Mario Party 4. And then every once in a while, until next month potentially, we can probably move on to the next Mario Party game for the GameCube for able to doing a redo Let's Play on. That is of course Mario Party 5. And things all goes pretty well, all things considering, because after all we did show off pretty much almost everything. Well, the only couple of exceptions being the forms of the puzzle minigames from Mario Party Island Tour, as well as the extra minigames here and there too, which is the only ones we also missed out on. But either way though, it's just the fact of the matter is due to the forms of time constraints or anything else like that, so but as far as I'm aware is that the amount of views we got for Mario Party Island Tour was actually quite higher. Well, nowhere near as like the highest viewers we actually got, that honor goes to Mario Party DS, and, same applies to the forms of, well, let's just say in terms of, well, Mario Party, well, I've already mentioned Mario Party DS, and also Mario Party 9, but, I don't know about Mario Party 10, though, but either way, though, that's as far as I can usually think about it. So anyway, let's just go ahead and carry the key and take it all the way to this particular point there, and trying to dodge that scorpion over there. And every once in a while, well, we can surely, without even getting crushed all of a sudden, but hey, at least we managed to done this no problem, unlike, well, you know, stage 8-4 for instance. Alright, stage 8-7, where we once again have to utilize the super hammer items so we can able to break those blocks. But honestly, there's also another way you can able to actually finish the level like so. In fact, is this the right way to do it? I think I actually lost count on it though. Hold on, let me just keep on like, I'm just getting stuck. In fact, there's no way we can able to actually slide and crouch all of a sudden, so yeah, that's the only drawback with this. So, but apart from those aside things though, that's as far as I can say about it, so. Alright, so let's just go ahead and keep on moving. In fact, though, there's no way we can able to do anything. And plus, we actually got Donkey Kong Jr., so I'm also able to kill myself, so. Oh well, no big deal. At least we got on, at least we got a lot of extra lives still, so. Yeah, with Donkey Kong Jr., all you can really do is just the fact that he can able to constantly change the directions of the conveyor belts, as you can see. So either way though, hopefully with a much more better attempt, then we should be good to go for this point. So I think the easiest way to do this is just hit onto this particular conveyor belt, and once you make it there, then sure enough, you're able to actually get to the door. So yeah, I honestly find this level not that hard. Well, it's just I wasn't paying attention to it, that's all. Alright, stage 8-8, where basically we got to make our way to Pauline, except the fact that we now need to rely on these rocks. You remember though, in Super Mario Land, where basically if you manage to hop onto the rock, basically that continues your progression for the level? Well, it kind of feels like the similar thing here. Except the fact that do not run into the forms of those rocks, because otherwise you die. So, yeah, very similar to Super Mario Land for sure. So, yeah, this level's not too hard though either. So, because of that though, I managed to die no problem. And that pretty much takes care of the forms of the next 4 levels at peace. And I believe we're now onto the halfway point in terms of Rocky Valley. So, either way though, hopefully without any too much frustration here and there, so yeah, I guess that makes a little bit more accounted for. So, 637 points that I've got from the likes of the actual, you know, the next 4 levels at peace, so I guess that pretty much sums it up. Alright, let's move on to level 8-9, where I believe we need to rely on these waterfalls now. So because of that though, the more at it, Donkey Kong Jr. appears, and I believe he's gonna able to actually just toss the poison mushrooms at us. So, yeah, because that's the thing with these mushrooms, these are called poison mushrooms, and in fact I just died right there, so that's a bit underwhelming. So yeah, with the poison mushroom, that obviously it'll turn you to a smaller formation of Mario, so yeah, something's worth knowing for. So, anyways, let's go ahead and, how do I supposed to do this? Even though, let me try with this. Will this work? Hold on, let me just get a good timing jump to deal with. Ah, dang it. Oh, this isn't good. Oh, jeez, that was close. Although you can able to actually skip this entire thing if you wanted to, but I'm gonna do the hardest pathway. So because of that though, I'm still up for the task of challenge. But either way, let's just go ahead and keep on moving here and wait until when it grows back to. Ah, dang it! I did that too early. Hey, I think you have to utilize the let's just say a backflip or something, so, I'm guessing that begs the question about that specific move. So, yeah, you probably get the idea of how this goes, so because of that, though, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of emphasis on the forms of difficulty. Good lord! What's wrong with me today? Okay then, so let's try this again. Because of that though, yeah, the difficulty will start to wrap up, like, super tremendous. Although especially noticeable whenever we get onto the final world in the game. Oh, come on! That's the 4th time I got killed by that stupid fish. In fact, there's no way you can able to actually just, attack him or anything, unless you get the key and stuff like that. But for whatever reason, I just keep on, get killed by that same exact fish. But anyway, we now passed that at least, so, if you think we actually done, well, turns out that there's actually more to it, such as, for instance, that, obviously, since that Donkey Kong Jr.'s keep on tossing the poison mushroom from the furthest distances, so that means it's the fact that we need to rely on avoiding those poison mushrooms, because otherwise, we'll have to start all over again if we manage to able to, you know, die a lot, so... Alright, so let's wait for this little seed projectile to come through, and keep on activating that switch over there, so just in case we're able to now hop onto the elevator part. Oh, god dang it, I forgot about Donkey Kong Jr. can able to knock you out, so... And yeah, this is gonna suck. Or, potentially speaking, we can able to avoid that specific segment and head on to here in a quicker way fashion. So, at least we got that at least. So, oh no, we got swarms of those poison mushrooms incoming wise. And that's gonna be pretty annoying because otherwise I'm also able to get stuck in this little, well, it kind of reminds me like the forms of Silver the Hedgehog's boss fight. Whenever when, you know what I mean, getting stuck on that specific, endless loop. You know, getting stuck on the forms of the it's no use kind of attack from Silver. So I'm guessing Donkey Kong Jr. will be like, it's no use, take this. It's no use, take this. It's no use, take this. Kind of stuff. But I have no idea why I just referenced that. But anyway, speaking of Sonic 06 though, is the fact that that game will be 15 years old this year, so because of that though, there's not much right to talk about, along with the forms of other 15th anniversary of Sonic things related to that as well, like, obviously Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis for the Game Boy Advance, and also same applies for Sonic Riders, and the original Sonic Rivals, and that's pretty much about it in terms of the 15-year anniversary of certain 15 years of the 15th anniversary of certain Sonic games for, in my honest opinion, one of the worst years for Sonic. Although, the only highlight for the 15th anniversary still is, of course, the original Sonic Riders and all that stuff though, just because it's a bit cartoony and stuff like that. At least I found that game to be pretty underrated. Well, at least for the most part anyway. Oh, we managed to able to make it for a lot of wasting time on that particular level just because of the continuous spam of those poison mushrooms in particular. But now we got that out of the way. Now let's move on to stage 8-10 where, oh boy, we have to do with a lot of wind in this level, so that's gonna be annoying. But at least we can able to cope with this for timing, good timing jumps and what have you. So I think I should probably place the spring over there and attach another one over there as well. And place that spring over there. In fact, that was almost like a very close call. For I'm able to actually almost got screwed over by that, you know, that annoying wind. So either way though, let's just get ourselves a good speed momentum there, and we'll be good to go for this level. So yeah, at least it took me one attempt though, so at least that's good. So anyway, so now let's move on to stage 8-11. So let's see what this stage brings us to. Of course, another one of those quicker, fast reflexes kind of levels. So although eventually at this point, whenever we get towards the end of this world, this might actually be the final time we're going to be able to deal with those specific key stages, because once we're done with that, then we can pretty much guarantee to move on to the rest of the Donkey Kong stages. And, well, we probably won't mention more about it until this Friday, because exponentially speaking, that will probably end off the actual Let's Play of Donkey Kong 94 during the course of this Friday. So yeah, that's something worth that in mind. So at least I'm looking forward to that though. So because of that though, so that way we can move on to the next Let's Play we can deal with, but it's actually a redo Let's Play I would like to talk about. That is, of course, Mario vs. Donkey Kong for the Game Boy Advance, so that way I could able to improve. While the quality itself looks damn good for the time, but Cell Mixing, on the other hand, is an entirely different story. So because of that, though, yeah, I would like to do a redo Let's Play of that. So until specifically in November. So yeah, something to keep in mind. Oh my god, we got ourselves these rocks returning, and also same applies to those little specific donut lift platforms, which every time you stand on them for too long, then you're probably going to die. So yeah, you have to be very careful. So alright, I'm really hoping I can do this on the first attempt, which I'm really hoping that's to be the case. But let's just wait until when Donkey Kong did something completely random. But we managed to make it within the first attempt, which is kind of surprising. I know most people seem to have a bit of a struggles with that specific stage as well, but anyway. And now we're going to be introducing to ourselves the lava, which meaning that if you dare touch the lava, then you die instantly. So, just like in any other Mario games for sure. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Alright, so now we're done with the another 4 stages, despite stage 9 did almost give me a time's up. But now we're going to be hit on to the last 3 regular platforming levels. Well, to be more specifically, the final 3 key stages. Because for the majority at the end of the game, as I mentioned this earlier, then we can pretty much guarantee to move on to the majority of the Donkey Kong stages. So, yeah, that should be pretty swell. Especially noticeable about the fact that, well, you know what I mean, it gets a bit tricky and difficult, so... But there is that one level I'm surely stuck on at the moment on the original Game Boy cartridge version of this game. That only goes to the forms of 815, which you probably know why, whenever we get into that. So, yeah, this level's not too shabby, for the most part, so we're just gonna have to, like, keep on utilizing that bridge construction part, and you'll be good to go for the most part. Alright, so stage 814, this is going to be complex, especially noticeable because we need to keep on activating those switches in this whole giant level of almost. So because of that though, we have to keep on climbing ladders, climbing onto vines, and you name the rest. So, but honestly, this level doesn't give me that much trouble at all. At least unlike on my first attempt for this, at least on my first attempt on the Game Boy version of, or the Game Boy cartridge version of this game, I should say. It did took me a bit of a struggle, but thankfully though, I know exactly what I'm going to do here. So either way though, let's just go ahead and activate that switch, and just in case we'll activate a bridge for the certain enemies, mainly with those returning little stone-like enemies, which can be utilized by using as platforms, basically. So either way, though, it's kind of weird that we never actually seen these enemies for quite some time at this rate. At least ever since back in the ship level or something. So because of that, though, yeah. And let's just go ahead and let that enemy drop down from the lava, so just in case we don't get killed by the lava instantly. So at least we're able to get that. So I'm quite surprised that, usually relatively speaking, despite I did die a couple of times during the course of Rocky Valley, because it's pretty obvious to make it one of the hardest worlds in the game. But apart from those side of things, though, I think I did that pretty decently. So, anyways, let's go ahead and make your way to the key, and hop onto that little elevator platform, just in case if we're about to be going up. And whoever needs that 1-up anyway, because we already maxed out, thanks to the forms of that, you know, the segment's completionist. So, anyways, let's keep on jumping for those platform-to-platform kind of stuff, and we are good to go for stage 14. So yeah, I don't find that particular level that much troublesome to me though, so of course I got another extra life, but there's no need for maximizing it, so... Stage 815, the final key stage of the game. And the reason being for that, this is perhaps one of the trickiest levels of the game. Mainly due to the fact that you have to deal with a lot of timing to deal with. Especially noticeable about the fact that, again, if you dare touch the lava, that's instant death. So, yeah, I think that was the only level I actually got into on my original cartridge version of this game. And, ah, dang it, my jump button doesn't react to in time, so, whoops. Well, that's fine though, because even then though, we can still continue things on for this point. So, hopefully, without any, well, single mistakes for this point. So, hopefully, we'll try it again. So, hopefully, we would be able to avoid, you know, the entire lava, and also some quick sand blocks, and, well, I managed to pretty much got my safe landing right there, surprisingly. And of course, this will be the last level to able to feature those Pauline's items, as you can tell, like the power cell and the handbag and the forms of a hat. So there's no need for able to actually get those, potentially, for this point. So we'll hop on here, toss the key upwards, and go to the door, and boom, we are done. We've done every single key stages in the entire game, so yeah, the majority of any other final few levels we're going to be hit onto right now is the majority of the Donkey Kong stages, starting with stage 816. And this level, or this fight can be pretty annoying, just like in stage 6 Donkey Kong fight, is that for one thing, obviously we do, oh wow, that was a direct hit right there, Donkey Kong, I'll give you some credit to that. Anyway though, because for one thing, is that much like in stage 6, or in this case world 6, basically we have to deal with the wind. And also, rather than just utilizing the barrels to deal the damage on Donkey Kong, so instead he actually utilized these rocks as projectiles this time around. And also another thing, we have a most annoying bird enemy again, so because of that though, we need to avoid that bird at all times, so... But then again though, only 3 hits on Donkey Kong, which is pretty self-explanatory, and you're probably able to actually deal with him no problem, just like that. So, there we go, that pretty much concludes Rocky Valley. Easily the longest world in the game for sure. And now we hit on to the final world, in terms of Donkey Kong 94. And that's what appears to be we're going up to the tower itself. And then also Donkey Kong Jr. decides to come along with Donkey Kong, of course. So we're not exactly done. So, I guess that pretty much wraps it up for this point. Yeah, I think that's pretty much enough for this point. So, anyway, this will be the last time seeing this, so let's save our game here. And pretty much guaranteed we can able to end off the video. And also we now ended up on the tower world, as you can see, which just like the big city, along with the ship and even the aeroplane worlds, this world only contains 8 levels, so it might actually be pretty short though, but these levels are pretty hard though, so just give you a heads up. So, we got the endings up here, so join me next time on Let's Play Donkey Kong 94, is that this will be the finale of this Let's Play while going for the Tower World, so I'll see you guys until on Friday. Later, fellas.